Hello, my name is JR. I'm here at the Bread Bank today, our pastry shop and bakery that handles all the bread and pastries for our restaurants, Rye, Chives, Blue, Chives Door County, and for the Bread Bank. We do a small display every day of quiches, croissants, and our breads. Today we're going to make one of the items that we sell in the morning, which is an individual quiche. And what we're going to do is start by making our pastry dough. Angela, our baker, is going to help us out today, and we're going to start by adding our butter and flour together. One of the things with pastry doughs is you want to make sure you don't over mix them. She's doing a little different version of one where she's going to add cracked black pepper to it also, but she takes her flour and her small cubed cold butter and cuts it in or mixes it into the flour. If you use the mixer for this part, not your hands or the blade, what happens is the butter gets too mixed in and you end up with a really tough pastry dough. At that point, we're going to lightly mix it in the mixer, just enough to incorporate it, make it all stick together where we can roll it out. As you can see, she's slowly adding the water and not over mixing, and really just adding enough water to bring the dough together. If we can stop here for just a second, you can see how it's not over mixing, but it's just starting to come together and the butter's still in chunks. So we know we're about halfway there. So now you can see on this, we got it together to the point where she can throw it out on the, you can throw it out here. And as you can see, if you look really closely at it, you can see the butter, you can see the pepper, you can see everything, but it's not super mixed. It's still a little crumbly. But as she puts it together and starts to roll it out, it sticks together and becomes nice. If you over mix it, you don't get that flaky, nice crust. It's a really tough crust. All right, so now that we have our dough all rolled out and ready to go, it's not over mixed, it's going to be nice and flaky. The first thing we have to do is create our shell and par bake it. And what she's going to do is put the shell inside and carefully spread it around. You have to be really careful when you're putting it in whatever you're baking it in, not to get cracks or all your quiche leaks out. It makes your quiche stick to the pan. So she's going to take this and get it inside the form. At this point, it's in there, but if we were to bake it now, it'd fall. So we have to do this thing called blind baking, where we're going to take beans in a little bit of foil cup and spread them around, and what that does is bakes the pastry without it falling down in the mold or the bi-shell. All right, so we're going to bake that at 350 degrees until it's 9/10 of the way cooked. I look for the edges starting to get brown. Once the edges are brown, you know that the bottom's going to be baked. Once we have our shell made, you can see how we took the foil out. It's 9/10 of the way baked, and now it's ready for the filling. Quiche is really neat that you can put anything in it, but it always starts off the same. And what we're going to do today is just use cream and eggs. We're going to mix those cream and eggs and just mix them like scrambled eggs. And it's almost 50% cream, 50% egg. A lot of people use milk, half and half, different things, but you gotta use cream and you gotta use whole eggs for it to come out really nice. And then we're just gonna add our seasonings, a little salt, a little pepper, some chives, just making a classic, a ham and cheese quiche. Then we're gonna take and put a little bit of cheese and ham in the bottom. Then we're going to put some of the filling in. And then we're going to top it with a little cheese and ham. I like doing it in layers, especially if you're going to add vegetables or spinach or things like that, because you don't want it all sitting at the bottom. You want to level it out, and the only way to really do it is to add it in layers. So then we're going to add a little bit more cheese, a little bit more ham, and a touch more cheese. And what we're going to do is we're going to bake this at 375 degrees until it's done. I know it's hard to say exactly because of your oven, but what we're looking for is it to souffle. it really stinks when you make a great quiche and you think it's done because you shake it and you do all the different things, and then when you go to cut it, the center's runny. So that's pretty much it for quiche. It's really simple. You can add whatever you want: ham, cheese, vegetables, just a plain egg and cheese quiche also. But it's a great way to add something different on a Sunday brunch or lunch or anything.